Good morning. Have you ever wondered what the difference between regular unleaded, premium, and super unleaded mean? I was recently asked this question, and of course I knew the answer, but I didn't know how to explain it. It just took me off guard because I assumed that everybody knew. Anyway, the difference. Okay, regular, supreme, and super, basically they're all three gasolines. Super obviously has more power, premium not as much but better than regular. So you have your low grade, medium grade, super grade. Gasoline burns, as you well know. It causes an explosion. It's the type of explosion that these three ratings or levels or octane levels talk about. Here you have 90 plus, at least 90 plus. Premium you have the mid range 88 to 90, and then regular is 87, 88, what have you. However, what you're not going to get, what's going to really bother you, is regular burns faster. Sounds weird, doesn't it? And this one burns just a bit slower. Weird, huh? Seems like it would be the opposite. Now, super, as I'm about to explain, burns the slowest. Slowest. That doesn't make any sense. I guess it doesn't to me either. Well, maybe I should refer to, let's say, a rifle. You have a rifle. You have black powder in that rifle. And that rifle, you have an explosion that propels a bullet. Now, if you had a quick explosion, you would explode that bullet. It would go about that far. That would be how much power. Now, if you exploded, if it was a slow explosion, whereas it was burning and expelling energy throughout the duration of the entire barrel, then you would get a lot more power. That's where this comes in. Much more power. Now, how does this correlate to a vehicle? Well, a vehicle, like let's say regular. You have a spark plug here that sparks, and it causes an explosion. I'm going to mark green for the spark plugs. It causes an explosion. Well, in regular, that explosion burns out about that fast. See, it propels this piston, and this is a piston, by the way, just to let you know, this is piston rings. This piston moves up and down, which transfers your power. Well, anyway, I'm not going to explain an engine, but I'm just explaining the difference in fuels right now. And then we'll get to engines later if you want. Now, in the premium, it burns just a little bit more. It gives it a little bit more power. So it burns slower, so it gives it power up to this point. Now, obviously, this depends on your compression ratio, so many other factors. And then super, which is designed specifically for high compression engines and some other configurations, racing engines and such, which are high compression engines, it burns the slowest, but it exerts power throughout much more of the stroke, giving you much more consistent power stroke, thereby producing more power. Okay, now this is the reason why super, slowest, may be better. However, in a lot of configurations, super is not better. If you have a low compression ratio engine, if you put super in it, then that, because there's not enough oxygen, a compression ratio would be, let's say, here's 1. You ever see the, if you ever see 10 to 1 compression ratio, 12 to 1, basically that's this area here. This is 1 with this piston all the way down. When it compresses all the way to the top, that's where you get the 10 to 1. It's taking the air volume only. Pressure can measure, it could be about 100, 110, 120, maybe 140, even greater. It just depends on your engine configuration. But that low compression ratio, let's say if it was a 5 to 1. 5 to 1, you will have so little oxygen in there that it wouldn't be feasible to use super unleaded, because there would not be enough oxygen to burn all your fuel. Thereby you'd be wasting fuel. You'd be exhausting more fuel than you would be burning, so it would be a waste in a low compression engine. Now in a high compression engine, you have oxygen all day long. You will have that small volume which will explode and keep exploding, because you won't lose your oxygen on the initial burst like is in regular. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If I need to go back and explain, I will add to this video or I will expand upon it. I think that is about it as far as the difference between regular, premium, and super. The gun analogy, small handgun, large rifle. So hopefully that helps out. Any questions? Send me a message. Thank you.